back to my channel. I'm so glad you can join me again today, where it's all about collecting 4Ks, Blu-rays, and DVDs, as you can see behind me, from all over the world. And man, am I excited about the one today. We're going to be deep diving into another hidden and unknown release from around the world. And this one looks great. Got a lot of exciting things to go into here, so we're going to be deep diving into Black Sheep Squadron. And the actual full title was Baa Baa Black Sheep Squadron. So it's got a long title on it, and this is the complete series remastered in full 1080p on Blu-ray. And this is the only release of this 1080p Blu-ray series in the entire world. And there's a lot of exciting things we got to go into this. We're going to do an unboxing, go through what's in it. I'm going to give you my review as far as what I think the show was like, what I thought about it, what I liked, disliked about it. And then at the end, we're going to go through my review score, which is a combination of the quality of it, go through what it looks like, what the remaster was, if it's worth the upgrade over the DVDs, and go through all of that. So make sure you stick around through the whole thing. We've got a lot of exciting things to go into. Now, before we go into the unboxing here and on this, I do want to talk a little bit about the show itself. And I had never seen the show until I actually got this set, and it was sent to me from Elephant Films. And I've done several reviews for Elephant Films before on the channel of different sets that I have from them. I think now this is like my 6th or 7th TV series that they've completely remastered on Blu-ray that I've reviewed. And they've had a good track record, and I'll tell you, I was excited to get this and dive into this because there's a lot of things that they've done over the years that as their releases have gone on, they've gotten better and better, and they've done a great job with them. So I was excited to dive into this and watch this, especially because I'm a big World War II TV show, movie fan. I really like them, and I like that era of just what people went through, what the troops went through, the nurses, all that kind of stuff, and I love watching things that are history related as far as that goes. So as far as Baa Baa Black Sheep, the Black Sheep Squadron goes, I had never seen the show, but it is loosely based on the true story of the squadron itself. And that's where I liked and thought this series had a very unique spin on it, and here's why. So basically it has to do with Greg Boyington, who is the main character on the front here, played by Robert Conrad, and I really like him in the role. I actually thought he played the role phenomenally well. And the series starts off with a 94-minute movie. And the weird thing is I actually at first when I watched the movie thought it was a little bit hard to get into the characters because I didn't understand them and what was going on. As I watched basically the whole first disc, which is basically 4 episodes, by the end of that 4 episodes in the movie, I really liked the series. And you really understood what basically Robert Conrad, Greg Boyington, Pappy, his character's nickname is Pappy, what his character was doing and why he was a little bit kind of like cold at the beginning and kind of disobeyed orders and was kind of like breaking away from the military on its own, trying to do his own thing. And at first I didn't quite get it because most military movies are always about basically a military commander that follows orders and does great battles and does all this stuff, but they always follow in line. This one's not. This one's a unique series because it is based on the true story about Greg Boyington, and he actually, as a little hidden tidbit, Greg Boyington was a part of the actual production crew, the actual Robert Conrad's character, the actual gentleman it's based on. He actually supervised the show being made, story, production, to make sure it was accurate to what was going on. Now, he does talk about, and there is a bunch of special features talking about what went behind the show and how they tried to make it a little bit more lighthearted though because it was a TV series. So he said there was a lot of like serious episodes in this series that I did enjoy, but in the end they would always add a little bit of humor and things like that, which wasn't present in the actual time period when Greg Boyington had those things going on. They added that portion of it, which is why it's based on the true story of what was going on with the Baa Baa Black Sheep Squadron. And so I really enjoyed it after I'd gotten through the first 4 episodes. It actually made me want to go back and watch the 94-minute movie at the beginning again because I understood the character more of what Greg Boyington, Pappy, was trying to do and what he actually ended up doing. And I mean, in my opinion, they were all aces, and what he gathers together is a bunch of misfit, different troops and different people from different segments of the military that either didn't fit in or were drunkards or had gotten in fights and basically the first 4 episodes, I feel like that's where it was hard to understand, is because it is, I mean, there's fights in it. It's a little bit more of a raw military series. They aren't doing what they're told. They're getting in fights with other commanders, and At first, I didn't quite, like I said, understand it. And then as it went on, I really understood what was going on. He puts together a great crew of basically these aces that he understands them because that's how he is. He's kind of an outcast in the military. He has a hard time always following orders, but they end up saving a lot of lives. They win numerous battles, and there are, along the way, different crew members that basically in battle pass away and get killed, and I thought it was really well done. And I think that if you give this series a chance, it'll really surprise you. As far as a military series goes, it has a lot of comedy in it that keeps it lighthearted as it's going on, but it does have seriousness. So even if you don't like normal, let's say World War II movies or World War II television series, this is really well done. And I'll share some other tidbits about it so you know going into this what this series really is. So Stephen J. Cannell is actually one of the basically creators of the series that came up with the idea based on Greg Boyington's character, and basically decided to make it into a TV series. And if any of you know anything about Stephen J. Cannell, he was a huge producer and writer and creator of TV series, some of great TV series from back in the 80s, the 70s, things like that. And I love most of what he created. And I'll just give you a little hit list of some of the shows he wrote or created along the way. And some of these he was the writer on, and some of these he was the creator on. And overall, he did a lot of huge hits, and some of my favorite TV series to this day. So for example, he worked on Columbo. He did Rockford Files. He did The A-Team, which is one of my favorite series of all time. And I talked about Elephant Films is doing a complete restoration and remaster on that series as well. Stephen J. Cannell also did The Greatest American Hero, another great classic action-adventure sci-fi superhero series. And that's just to name a few that most of you are probably going to know. There was dozens of others that he did that he wrote for or he created or things like that. And this is one of those series that he did, and I'm very glad to own it in my collection because it was such a well-done series that he did. Especially because it's a World War II series that's based on a true story, and that they actually had the original, basically some of the characters from it helping produce the series with the locations and things like that. And at the beginning of each episode, it actually has original World War II clips that are in black and white. And I'll show you above as I'm talking about it, some of the clips here. They're in black and white, and those are the few scenes that in this set were not completely remastered because they're from the original World War II elements that were filmed and sent out as film reels. They did not have access to those basically when they were going to do the remaster, so they couldn't do a complete remaster and restoration on those. So those few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes of each episode basically were just the way they were. They're kind of SD content upscaled, but I'm fine with that because they're the original black and white elements, and they kind of lead into each episode telling what was going on during the World War II when this episode was being filmed, of what that episode was talking about, basically leading into each episode. And I really liked it. It added a great sense of authenticity to each episode. So if you're a history buff, you're a World War II buff, or you just like great TV like that's written by Stephen J. Cannell, I mean, he basically did a dozen of those really great shows. You're really going to enjoy the characters in this, even if you're not into World War II shows specifically. It's a good TV show on its own. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button and the bell notification right next to it. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out on finding out about any of these exclusive or hidden releases that you're only going to find reviewed on my channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell notification right next to it, and give this video a thumbs up for me. As always, all the links for all of these will be listed down in the description section right below. That way it makes it nice and easy for you to go out there, click on the Amazon link, and purchase your copy. And you can follow me on my Instagram or my Facebook, which is In Search of Physical Media. It's just the name of the channel, and you can follow me on either of those. All right, we've got a lot to cover. Let's dive right back into this review here. So let's dive in a little bit more into the set, what the quality is and things like that. Now, obviously I talked about the show came out in 1976 and ran from 1976 to 1978. And it was on for 2 seasons plus the 94-minute movie that went before the series. So it has a lot of content in this to dive into. Now, it is on 8 Blu-ray discs that are BD50 Blu-ray discs. So they did a good job again, Elephant Films, not compressing the content down because it is a full 1080p HD remaster. So they did a good job with the discs. The series runs for 1,800 minutes. So you get 1,800 minutes of content over 36 episodes, and that's including the TV movie, which basically would have been like 2 episodes. So technically you would have had 37 episodes, but because the TV movie is counted as 1, you get 36 episodes over the entire series. Other than the pilot movie, basically the movie that starts it off, that's 94 minutes, each episode runs roughly about 46 minutes roughly. So you're looking at about a 46-minute episode each one over 36 episodes. Now the aspect ratio on this set is a 1.33.1, so obviously you're going to have the black bars on the sides with the image in the middle, just like it was aired originally. They didn't change anything on that because that's the way it was filmed originally, and that's the film stock that they have. They didn't mess with that when Elephant Films went back to restore and remaster this. And I appreciate that because they didn't mess with any of that. It looks just great. So, on the box set, obviously, it does have in French on the front the title of it, but all the actual actors' names are all in English. Talks about Dana Elcar, James Whitmore Jr., obviously Robert Conrad, who plays the title character, Dirk Blocker, and Robert Ginty. And there's a ton, let me tell you, guest stars on this. I mean, there's guest stars from the original Star Trek series, from Mission Impossible. I mean, it goes on and on. I couldn't list them all off. And it's amazing how many guest stars they have in this series for only having ran for 36 episodes. And I wish it would have gone on for even longer than that because I really, really enjoyed the series. Now, it does list off the 36 episodes down here, full 1080p HD, and 8 Blu Ray discs. On the side, it obviously has Robert Conrad's picture with the Universal logo. So this was actually done by Elephant Films with the original film elements that they went back and restored and remastered from Universal themselves. So this is an officially licensed release. A lot of the times on the channel when I do these releases from other countries, I get comments of people saying, oh, that's some sort of bootleg or offshoot. I don't do bootlegs on the channel at all. Not any of my releases ever are from bootleg releases. They are all officially licensed releases from the studios, just released a lot of the times in other countries. And this release I will get out of the way right away so you know this. This release is region free. So, as we're going through this, anywhere in the country you buy this, there's no speed up issues. It runs at 24 frames per second, just like it should. A full 1080p HD picture. As I told you, the aspect ratio, but this one is region free. So that means anywhere you live in the world, you live in England, you live in Japan, you live in America, there's no region coding, region locking on this. So it is 100% a region free release, which I love. Again, Elephant Films knocking it out of the park there. They're making this accessible to everyone around the world because this is not released in any other country, restored or remastered. This is the only set you can get, and it's released by Elephant Films here. Now, I will have, as always, listed down in the description section below the link from Amazon to buy this set. That way, no matter where you live, you can go down there, you go to the description section right below, you open it up, you click on that Amazon link, you can buy it and have it shipped to your house, and it's listed down there. I do that with every one of my reviews, as all of you know. I will have that always listed down there below so you don't have to go search for it. And this one was hard to find. I had a hard time finding it when I was trying to get the links and things as well, because it's in the French titles, and you have to do it with all the asterisks and exclamation and things like that to get it to pull up. So I did put that link down there in the description section below to make it easy for all of you to be able to buy it, and it is listed down there. And then on the back here, obviously a lot of this is in French, talking about the series itself, and then all the actual description of what the series has in it is listed in English down here. Talks about the complete series, 8 Blu Ray discs, 2 seasons, 36 episodes. Talks about the extended movie that's 94 minutes. And then it talks about audio options here, and this is the next thing you're going to want to know about. This set does have the full English audio in English DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 Mono, and it has French DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 Mono as well. So they did work on the audio a little bit to make it clearer and crisp, and it sounded great. I had no issues hearing it or playing it through any of my systems. The English sounded great, and this is the other exciting thing about this set. A lot of you have noticed in the past, some of these sets from other countries will have burned in, not subtitles throughout the whole thing, but where certain words or certain signs will come up and it'll have a burned in subtitle on this. This set did not have a single burned in subtitle. So Elephant Films did a great job with this set. They did not put in burned in subtitles at all on it. So once you take the subtitle option off, which is easy on the main menu, I'll show you above how it has the main menu and the option. You just select the second subtitle option at the end, and that turns subtitles off, and you do that before you play the disc. It plays every episode with no subtitles, no burned-in subtitles whatsoever. Now, it does have the option for French subtitles, but there is no English subtitles. So, I would have liked to have seen English subtitles just for those that want the English subtitles, but they're not on there, and I'm thankful it didn't give us burned subtitles in any shape or form, because some of the other Elephant Films releases that I've reviewed before in the past, every once in a while will have just a burned in word for like a newspaper or something every once in a while in the episodes that you couldn't remove. This one, there's none. I played the entire series and there wasn't any that I saw. Once you turn it off at the beginning of each disc and you play all through the discs and you select the English audio, played perfectly well, just like it was an English release. And that was great, because that really sold me on why this set was so well done. And I personally think Elephant Films did a phenomenal job with this set. Now, it does have a bunch of special features. I'm just going to list off some of them for you. We're not going to go through all of them. It has behind the scenes making of the series. It has talking with the producers, the creators, interviews with Greg Boyington, interviews with Robert Conrad. It obviously has something that I always love in this, the history of the Pacific, going into announcement trailers, credits, references on the series, talking about how they made the series. And so that's just to give you an idea of some of the supplements and special features behind this. There's a lot of them on it, and they were really good. And the actual audio options on the special features, you can select English or French on those as well. That was no problem at all. So you can play them in English just as easily. Now, coming back in here, it comes on the side here, obviously with your two separate cases of your two seasons, and guess what? It has a nice booklet in here. And I did like that. Elephant Films does a great job with their booklet, so we're going to get into this here a little bit, what's inside here. Alright, so starting here with the first season disc, again, it has the cover artwork, the English title for each one of their names. It says Integral Season 1 on it, 23 episodes for Season 1, 5 Blu-ray discs, full 1080p HD. Side again has a Universal logo, talks about Season 1 on it. And then on the back, it obviously has some different pictures talking about the series, talking about how it ran for 23 episodes the first season. Then it talks about that it was completely restored and remastered in high definition. And again, Elephant Films did a great job with this. As I've been going along, I've been showing you screenshots of what this looks like as we're going along. And I will touch on that before we go into the box set here just a little bit more. The only things that were not really remastered, like I talked about, were those first few minutes of where it's basically the original World War II footage. And there is some scenes during battles where it's actual World War II footage from air battles or things like that that basically was the original film stock footage from planes. They upticked it, upscaled that footage, but it's not as good as the actual series that they had to film to restore and remaster from. So those few scenes that run throughout it, you will notice a little bit less of quality because they didn't have access to that footage to actually restore it because it's off of original World War II stock footage. So that's the only thing that it kind of adds a unique element to the series. I didn't mind it at all because it still looked good. The series itself, though, if you've been noticing the screenshots up above, the actual series itself looks amazing. What they did with it just looks amazing. We'll get into later on a little bit more what my thoughts are completely on the score for what they did with the restoration and remaster on this and how it compares to some of the other sets. But so I love these cases that Elephant Films does, same cases they do before, nice and thick. You open it up in here and you have all your discs. Now, these are ones where they're on top, like I've told you before, where they're not actually touching each other. So they don't get scratched, they don't get damaged. Their cases are great, they're nice and thick and don't break. I haven't had one of these Elephant Films Blu-ray sets ever be broken because the cases are really nice. So when you get them shipped from Amazon, I think they look great. And so the discs are all stacked here on top of it. The first set, there is the second disc right behind this first disc on here. I'm not going to pull out all these discs because there's a lot of them to take out of it, but I will show you above the pictures of what it looks like with the artwork behind. There is special artwork behind this that basically continues the series and their different pictures, and I really like that. And so it does list off in English that you can read easily. Blu-ray 1, episodes 1 through 4, season 1, and each disc listed off. So like this one's Blu-ray 4, episodes 14 through 18, and so it does tell you what episodes are listed on it, what disc and what season. So it's nice and easy, even though it's from another country, we easily can see this, and that's where Elephant Films does a great thing. They know a lot of us in other countries are going to import and buy this, and that's something I'm going to talk about here for just a second. I get a lot of comments when I do these reviews of sets from other countries, especially people in America commenting saying, well, I'm going to wait for this set to come out in America. You know, I've done this now on YouTube for almost 4 years, and I've been collecting for over 35 years. And I'll tell you this much, these sets, especially things like this, I mean, I did Columbo here. That review was almost 3 or 4 years ago on the channel when I did it. And that set had been out for 2 years at that time, even when I did the review. And a lot of people said, well, I'm going to wait for that to be released in the US. And it never has been, and I honestly don't think it's going to be. And I talk about this all the time. Because of streaming rights and the people that own the rights in America, a lot of these sets just simply don't ever get released, remastered on Blu-ray for physical media. So I import these and buy this, and that was the whole purpose of my channel when I started it many years ago, was to let all of you know about hidden releases like this that are available for you to watch because it's region free, that are already remastered in 1080p, that you don't have to wait for it to be released because it's not going to be. I mean, Columbo, I had people when I first released that over 4 years ago saying, oh, I'm going to wait. 4 years have gone by and nobody's touched it in America, and they're not going to. The rights and things like that make things complicated in America. So that's why I buy these from other countries, because I want to own them and support these releases, because that's why they're making them region free, so we can all own them. And they look great. And there's no use in waiting for something that, to be honest with you, just like all those reviews I've done of The Incredible Hulk and Murder, She Wrote and Columbo and this set, and the list goes on and on. I've done, I don't even know, 30, 40 different TV shows that have come out remastered in other countries that they're just not going to be released in the US as normal releases. So this is the way you're going to be able to buy it, and this set is great. There's no reason to wait for it because everything's on here in English anyways. So trying to wait for something that's simply not going to come, that's up to you, but I think you're just wasting your time waiting for a train that's never going to show up. So that's my little tidbit. Hopefully nobody comments about that again saying, oh, I'm waiting for this to come out, because it's not coming. The only thing released in the US is on DVD, and the set on DVD runs anywhere between about $55 all the way up to $65. So getting into season 2 here. Same thing, got the actors up there. It does say season 2, slightly different cover art. 13 episodes. Now I said the first season was a lot longer because it did have the movie and then it went on for the 23 episodes. The second season is only 13 episodes. I'm glad to own it in its entirety, both seasons, but I do wish the series would have gone on longer because, man, when you get done with those 36 episodes plus the TV movie, you really think, man, the series was great, you got into the characters, and you just wanted to see more. But I'm glad it went on as long as it did because it's not one of those short 10 episode seasons. Again, talks about the series on the side here. And then the back, it's got some different artwork. And it does talk about special features listed on the back, the 13 episodes. And these are completely restored and remastered on 3 Blu-ray discs, which are BD50s. Getting inside here, you have your 3 Blu-ray discs, again, housed in this great case that I absolutely love that Elephant Films uses. Talks about Blu-ray number 8, episodes 10 through 13, plus supplements. Then it talks about Blu-ray 6, episodes 1 through 5. And then on the back side of the cards here, and this is what the first season had that I wasn't going to take all the discs out to show you. But on the card here, it does have the episodes listed out with the titles listed in English. And it does say that on the first season episode that I showed you above in the pictures as well. But to keep this moving, I'm trying not to show every single little thing on it. But it does list them out in English with the episode titles in English. So again, Elephant Films doing a great job for those of us in English-speaking countries that want to own this because they knew that we'd be importing this because it's not available anywhere else in the world completely restored and remastered. And these aren't available on streaming services. This is Elephant Films' exclusive set that they've restored and remastered that you can't get on streaming. So a lot of the times I get comments saying, oh, I want to get this on streaming or watch this. You can't. That's where us physical media collectors have a huge one up on streaming services. A lot of these sets that Elephant Films are releasing in some of these smaller studios, they're completely remastering and releasing these exclusively on these sets. And so it does have all the episode titles both on season 2 and on the season 1 case listed behind the discs in English. Alright, getting into the booklet here. I always love these booklets. It's a high gloss booklet from Elephant Films again. And inside the booklet, it does have listing in French, and most of the booklet is in French. But their pictures are what I like these books for. They're kind of like coffee table books that I really like. High gloss photos of the cast. It goes into tons of different things. And if you want to read this, it's a bunch of hidden things about behind the scenes about the show and things about what people didn't know about it. There's actually apps you can get on your phones that uses your camera to scan each page, and it shows you on your phone the translation of what each page says in French to English. So you can read this just fine if you use that, and you can read it on your phone by holding it over and read through it. So I do that to read through these, but the pictures in these are great. I mean, high gloss photos of behind the scenes cast. I mean, it goes throughout it, and I'm not going to show all of these, but to give you an example, I mean, there's some really nice photos in here, and it just goes through all different things people didn't know about the series. So even though it is in French listed through the booklet, you can use those apps to read through it no problem in English, so that way you don't miss out on what this booklet goes through and the history of it. It goes through tons of the actors when I was reading through it that were guest stars on it, and hidden things that people just didn't know about it. Pictures on every page, and then obviously Robert Conrad's picture here. Now the actual booklet itself, it has magazine covers on it. It basically goes for 63 pages. So there's a ton of pages to go through in this thing. And I'm not going to show them all up there. And at the back is some advertisements for some of the other Elephant Film sets I've reviewed on the channel. And so I've done most of these reviews on the channel. If you want to check those out, you can go down in my video section and scroll through my videos. They're all in there. And I've done tons of reviews for Elephant Films, and they do a great job with these sets. And as far as the set goes, I really enjoyed it, and I'd never seen it before, so that's where my recommendation is it's a really enjoyable TV series, especially after you give this series at least 4 episodes. Give the series that first disc, get through the movie in the 4 episodes, then after those 4 episodes, you're really going to understand Robert Conrad's character, Greg Boyington, Pappy, and you'll really fall in love with a lot of the characters and what they went through and why they are the way they are, and you really understand it, and then you really start to enjoy the missions they go on. And let me tell you, there's missions in the air, they went on foot missions, they have the camp get invaded by the Japanese, and there's so many hidden things throughout the series that just kept the series going, let alone it's little bits of history that's truly telling you about these aces and what their squadron went through. So the series is a really great military drama with some comedy in it that keeps it lighthearted and serious and going back and forth, so you never feel like it's too stuck in one rut. Now, as far as the restoration and remaster of the film elements from the show, it looks amazing. I've done another series on the channel from Elephant Films that got a really high score, and that was Murder, She Wrote. They did a great job with that series, with the restoration and remaster on that one. And I will tell you this much, this series looks better than Murder, She Wrote. So if you've seen that series, you've bought it, you've watched that review, whatever the case is, they did a much better job on this restoration and remaster. Now, I understand the film elements from Universal were in a better condition than what a lot of the film elements from Murder, She Wrote were, and this series looks amazing. So my review score for not only the series, but especially for this remaster, which is what heavily influences this because it doesn't have any burned-in subtitles. All of the discs, you're able to easily play the English audio with no French subtitles or anything burned in. The restoration and remaster being in 1080p HD and what they did with it looks phenomenal. Because of that, this one actually is going to get a 9.8 review score, and that's great. Because, like I said, if you've seen some of the other restorations and remasters by Elephant Films, this one looks even better than those other ones. So, like I said with Murder, She Wrote, this one looks even better than that. So if you own that one, you're going to be in for a treat on this one because it does look even better than that. I would probably say this one looks maybe about 15% better than the best one that Elephant Films has done so far, and they are just knocking it out of the park. It seems like the more work they do and the more restorations and remasters they're doing, they're honing their craft even better. And I'm telling you, Murder, She Wrote looked great. I didn't think you could beat that. Well, this did, and I loved this set, and I loved how it was a show I hadn't seen before, and it was just a really great show that Stephen J. Cannell did. And if you like any of those other series, Columbo, Rockford Files, A-Team, Greatest American Hero, any of those shows, you're going to love this show. It kind of has combinations of all different things he's done, and let alone it's a true story. Highly recommend picking this release up. Again, 9.8 for this. And as far as cost-wise, I told you I'd talk about DVD versus this. If you don't own the DVDs, or if you're thinking about buying them, you're looking at around between 60 bucks roughly. Sometimes I've seen about 65. I've seen them on sale for maybe about 55. It depends on when you're buying it. This set's going to run you about $75 to about $100 depending on when you buy it. And I put the link for it down in the description section below. That's the only Amazon link available to buy this set. So if you're looking to buy this set, that's where you're going to get it through. And in the US, that's the only place you can buy it through is through that Amazon link. So it makes it nice and easy. You go out there, you click on that, you can get this. You don't have to worry about trying to import it or waiting for it. It's right down there. It ships directly to your home. And I really enjoyed the set, and I really think it's worth the money. Even though maybe you buy the DVD set for 65 bucks, you're basically paying anywhere between 25 all the way up to maybe on the high end 35 bucks more for the Blu-ray, and it's well worth it. The difference in quality between what the DVDs had them on this, because I went on research what the DVDs looked like. I watched clips of what the DVDs look like. They don't even compare to the Blu-ray restoration and remaster on this. So if you really want the best quality, let alone all the special features that are included in this set is the way to go. The extra 25, 30 bucks that you would spend for this over the DVDs, if you own the DVDs, sell your DVD set. You can almost pay for this entire set just by selling your DVD set. You'll be so happy you upgraded and got the Blu-ray set. You'll never want to watch that DVD set again anyways. And trust me, once you see the restoration on this, you're going to be blown away. wow, does it look good. The colors, the clarity, and I always look forward to testing, reviewing their sets, especially because it's region free. I know that all of you wait for these reviews because you're always excited to pick up a new TV set, especially complete series TV set. And this one's I recommend. All of you that watch my channel, you need to pick this set up, take it, give it a chance, watch it. Whether you like war films or not, you're gonna enjoy this TV set because it's just some good writing, some great acting. It's got some good comedy, some good action, some good mystery, just some all around great TV show. I recommend it. 9.8, pick this set up. Talking about a couple other things real quick here about Elephant Films. There are a couple of series I've talked about that are coming out here later this year. And I just got notified from my guy at Elephant Films about another one coming out. They're hoping to release this year as well, a full uncut $6 Million Man restoration and remaster on Blu Ray. Now, I've talked about this before on the channel many years ago, and they had intended before the pandemic hit to release this earlier. Years and years ago, I think about 3 years ago I talked about this, and it got delayed, pandemic and other things, but supposedly from Elephant Films, they're going to be getting that done this year and released, as well as I'd already talked about the A-Team complete series remaster and restoration that Elephant Films is doing that I'm really excited about. I'll be getting that one in and be doing that review later this year when it comes out in September. But I will be getting the $6 Million Man set and comparing that to the other $6 Million Man set that I reviewed about 3 or 4 years ago. And I will tell you the original release I did of that $6 Million Man that was released in Germany, that one did have cut episodes by a minute, 30 seconds. Each one had a slight cut out of it. This one from Elephant Films is supposed to be the complete uncut, restored film elements where they didn't cut anything out. So this will be the only release of $6 Million Man that's going to be completely uncut, restored, remastered, and I'm excited to see how it looks. I did like the original, basically Blu Ray remaster that was released in Germany, that if you want to check that out, you can check that out on the channel. The review is out there. But my only issue with that is it was cut down on episodes by 30 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute at most. And I didn't like that. I didn't like how things are cut out, because if you know anything about me, I don't like when they censor or cut out episodes, but that was the only way to own it. So at that time, years ago, I was excited to own that, but now I'm ready to upgrade to the new Elephant Film set and see how that one's gonna look, and I think it's gonna look great. Based on what I saw that Elephant Films just recently did here with this Baa Baa Black Sheep restoration and remaster, I'm excited to see how they're gonna handle those two series, especially because the A-Team is one of my all-time favorite, absolutely favorite TV series of all time. I just love the A-Team. I grew up watching it all of the time, and I love that show. So really excited to see what they do with that. Really excited to see what they do with $6 Million Man. So make sure you stay tuned. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because you don't want to miss out on any of this exclusive content that you're only going to find on my YouTube channel. And as most of you know that have been subscribing, I do some pretty cool hidden stuff. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. Even if you're subscribed already, go down there and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out. That way, every time I release one of these reviews, whether it's restorations and remasters or things from other countries or 4Ks, there's so much stuff coming out. You don't want to miss out on it. So make sure you go down there, hit that bell notification, and click that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up for me. Give this video a like. Let me know you enjoy this, that I spend all this time finding this hidden stuff for all of you, so that way I can share with all of you so you can collect these great sets from all over the world. So make sure to give this video a like for me. And as always, I said I will list all of these down in the description section below. That way you can go down, click that link down there from Amazon and purchase your set. Makes it nice and easy for you, and I do that with every single review I do. So if you go and watch any of these other reviews I talked about, like the Murder, She Wrote or the $6 Million Man, all of those links are in the description section right below each of these videos. That way it makes it nice and easy to go out there and purchase these. I had a great time today. I always enjoy these Elephant Film sets to see how they're looking. And I've got another one of these Elephant Film sets coming out real soon that I'll be doing a review on. This is another hidden one that's going to be coming out soon, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Make sure to comment in the description section below if you know about the series, if you're going to pick up and support this Elephant Film series, and if you're going to buy it. Make sure you comment below, let me know about that. If you enjoy the series, and if you're excited to see this series on Blu Ray, because I know I was really surprised by the quality of it. So make sure to start that conversation down below in the comment section below. I appreciate all of your time today, and I hope all of you have a blessed day, and I look forward to the time we get to do another one of these hidden exclusive releases only on my channel.